So they're all win changes for the first four. Like, you will no longer be heavy stunned. Undying monsters will no longer affect other undying monsters with undying will, making chains of undying monsters that you can't kill. Players can no longer revive on the Kurgle's Last Gasp, which is if you've done the Kulamak invitation all the way through to giving him the finger. The duration of the ground effects for the abyss puddles that keep killing everyone around the abyss holes has been halved. Zelina, the Blood Princess, no longer heals from her attacks that hit player minions. Okay. The sorcerers surrounding Toravan, Hand of Savior's Arena, now have their visuals indicated when they are actively empowering Toravan. Various skills used by the prisoner are now red flash abilities. Improved how the Vessel of Kulamak's cold beams function in party play. Derek henchstones, Kurai beacons, and temporal tether all now dynamically spawn near the player on map completion. Oh, thank God. Oh, that is an amazing... That was pissing me right off. That's another W change. That's a big, good change. Big, good. Big, good. Many Act 4 monsters can now be bound as specters. Ancestral warrior totems, they're the things you have to click to access the special maps that are all shrouded in shit, by the way, and you do the wisp maps, but then if you don't go to the actual boss room at the end of the map, but that's all fixing, right? So Ancestral warrior totem now uses the weapon in the weapon set it has been assigned to. No longer disappears. Oh, shit, that's a huge change for warriors, so you can snapshot weapons for totems again. That's massive. The Gemling Legionnaire's integrated efficiency passive now actually applies by modifying each skill, which means those modifications also apply to minions from those skills. The descriptions has been added to clarify that the bonuses also apply in the case where supports and skills are socketed together in the meta gems. Okay. Chance to not consume crossbow ammo stats found on ammo conservation support gems and the passive tree now roll their chance per ammo spent instead of once per skill use, meaning they interact correctly with the hailstorm round skills. Their wording has been updated accordingly. It's good for crossbows. Volcanic Fissure's fissure limit is now displayed and can be modified by sources of plus to limit. That sounds like another buff to warriors. Volcanic Fissures, which I think is used by warriors a lot. Toxic Domain now requires a bow, spear, or crossbow to use. Okay. The His Scattering Calamity skill granted by the Unborn Lich Staff now has duration between launching well sprites 1.2 seconds. The Turn the Clock Forward notable passive skill once again provides 20% increased projectile speed. The Fairgrave's Curse unique bow can once again be attained. Added a tower to the character selection screen to have your character be logged into town hideout instead of the last area. This is identical to the existing behavior where you can control click on the login button. Boulder ants are no longer considered beasts and have been temporarily disabled as a spectre. Oh man, boulder ants, what? They're definitely beasts, those boulder ants, man. What the fuck? What is this? This is rudeness. Updated the wording on Omer of Sovereign, Liege, and Blackbudded to clarify that they can only be used with weapons and jewelry. Oh, right, okay, yeah, because I kept messing around with those, being like, wouldn't it work? Updated the Molten Shrine world map icon to indicate that it provided a permanent bonus. Oh, right, have I missed something? Improved the performance of some abyssal monster skill effects. Improved audio telegraphing for some abyssal monster skills. Improved the performance of some abyssal monster modifiers. Thank God. Improved the performance of the Benedictus First Herald of Utopia boss fight. I think that's somewhere else we've crashed. Improved the telegraphing of that fight. Improved the visibility of the Seven Pillars world map icon for Kima. I actually missed that until level 95. Improved stash and stash set navigation when using a controller. Hostile takeover quest can now be completed by speaking to Ange in any of your hideouts. Previously, this quest could only be completed. Oh man, I got stuck with that for ages as well. You had to go to Shoreline Hideout. Huge change. Huge fix. That was confusing as hell. The stash and guild stash and the Ziggurat Refuge have swapped locations. The dodge roll effects and level up effects are now listed under their own sections in the extra tab of the cosmetics panel. Re-enabled the Demon Fire Ember Fusillade microtransaction, and Time of Need audio no longer plays in hideout areas. Okay, yeah, that was annoying. Zoom, zoom. Right, bug fixes. Fixed a bug where you could be unable to dodge roll out of sprinting with the keep sprinting while moving option selected. Fixed a bug where you could not target objects while sprinting. Fixed a bug where crossbows occasionally jammed and ignored reload shoot inputs when the reload button was released too soon. Fixed a bug with Herald of Plague where anything that caused The ongoing buff to recalculate, such as changing the reservation amount, caused it to add the base spread radius to itself again. What the fuck? That is so broken. Fixed a bug where the Forest of Flesh skill was not granting any recovery on consuming a corpse. Fixed a bug where the following skills were not scaling with modifiers to area damage. Toxic Growth, Magma Barrier, Whirlwind Lance, Freezing Mark, Voltaic Mark, and Bloodhound's Mark. Fixed a bug which caused Blasphemy to become indefinitely disabled in a weapon set after you failed to meet the spirit requirement for it. Fucking what? Fixed a bug where Leech applied to you by totems via the font supports was much higher than it should be due to not being affected by Leech reduction. Fixed a bug where Leech had applied. Fixed a bug where Living Lightning support was not correctly triggered after the explosion of a poison cloud. Fixed a bug where Rapid Casting 3 was not providing increased cast speed for each different spell you had cast, so it just wasn't working then. Fixed a bug where triggering some skills while moving could reapply movement speed penalties from previously used skills. This was noticeable using the Corpse Wade unique boots. Fixed a bug where Ancestral Warrior Totem using Molten Blast would deal no damage if you were dual-wielding maces. Fixed a bug where Perfection Supports buff couldn't accumulate more than one stack and wasn't being removed properly. Fixed a bug where Encased in Jade didn't consume. They've had no end of problems with that skill. Like, it was coming up in bugs. Encased in Jade didn't consume Jade stacks if it didn't grant any guard. Fixed an issue where too much area of effect could prevent Shield Wall from being used with the Arn's Citadel lineage support. Fixed a bug where the benefits provided by quality on banner skills were not functioning correctly. Fixed a bug where allocating the same weapon for each weapon set with a Giant's Blood Keystone allocated could cause your second weapon set to become invalid after area transitions. Man, they really guffed up Giant's Blood, didn't they? Not only did they nerf the shit out of it, they introduced bugs. Fixed a bug where charges gained because of the Combat Frenzy skill weren't considered to have come from that skill, and thus were not affected by some supports applied to Combat Frenzy that affect charge gain. Fixed an issue preventing Orb of Storms and Solar Orbs from being supported by Unleash. These skills are still unintentionally unable to be supported by Spell Echo and Spell Cascade. This will be fixed at a later date. Fixed a bug where Sealed Vaults could sometimes fail to spawn an idol of... Oh my god, no wonder they've been expensive. I've never found one of those idols. Fixed a bug where the Boar, Fox, or Ox and Rabbit talismans could not be obtained. Rabbit talismans are going to be so expensive. Fixed a bug where essences that could be applied to armor could not be applied to foci and bucklers. Foci. Fucking hell. Fixed a bug where the essence of Hysteria could not... read that. Fixed a bug where one of the arena blockers in the final Act 4 boss fight wasn't being disabled at the correct time. Fixed a bug where the final Act 4 boss could fail to progress the fight after knocking the player down. Fixed a bug where you could skip the Torvian Hand of the Saviour boss fight by skirting around the edge of the arena. Fixed some cases where Diamora's Song of Death could fail to return to her arena after diving into the water. Fixed a bug where the visuals of the Vessel of Kulamak's triple beam could become incorrect when slowed. Fixed a bug where Krutog, Lord of Kin, could lose some aggro during a stomp skill. Fixed a bug which caused some terrain in the Flotsam map to sometimes being inaccessible. Fixed a bug I have to read fixed a bug or it doesn't make a sentence. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented players from opening the Derelict Mansion and the Sacred Reservoir maps. Fixed a bug... Oh, thank God, I might be able to open them. Fixed a bug where the wisps leading to the Derelict Mansion sometimes did not display correctly. Fixed a bug where it was not possible to reach the final part of the Vessel of Kulamak fight if a player had died and revived during the fight. Fixed a bug where active blocking the snowball created by Rakkar the Frozen Talon could sometimes fail to prevent the damage. Fixed a visual bug where effects in the slick map could become over-brightened. Oh, thank God. Every time we run that map, it was like, flash, flash, flash. It's horrible. Fixed an issue where players on Xbox could lose sound effects audio, which persisted until relaunching the game. PlayStation still have the issue. Fixed a bug where Navali would show up in your hideout uninvited and refuse to leave your waypoint. Yeah, I think she keeps showing up on mine. Fixed an issue where the Hammer of Kamisar was unattainable as standard. Fixed an issue that prevented you from completing the Grand Quest and from obtaining your first 2 expedition skill points if you had a logbook before talking to Danik. I thought they fixed that in the last lot. Fixed an issue where respawning at checkpoints after opening a chest that dropped a torn map piece didn't drop the quest item in the new instance. Oh no. Fixed a bug where opened strong boxes would not visually appear after respawning at a checkpoint. Fixed an issue if you had entered Act 4 underleveled from normal. The vendors wouldn't have any Act 4 items available for purchase. Fixed a rare issue where players could get stuck behind the hooded one in the ziggurat encampment. Fixed an issue where you were incorrectly told that Alva had completed one of your currency exchange orders instead of Angie. Ange, whatever her name is. Fixed a bug where map nodes and waystone descriptions were not displaying increased experience or gold game where applicable. They were still applying, just not displaying. People were calling that one out in chat early on. Fixed an issue where some map bosses counted as killing their campaign variants, causing some map pins on the world area to be marked as if you had done them in the campaign. Nice. Fixed a bug where modifiers to minion duration would not be correctly reflected on the skill information panel. This is purely a display fix. Fixed an issue where Magma Barrier had an outdated misleading duration tag. Fixed an issue where some small passive skill names had not been updated to the new function they have in 0.3. Fixed a bug where the dynamic culling for King of the Mists was too aggressive. Fixed a bug where dynamic culling for Animari's Void Ground was too aggressive. Fixed a bug where Rog constantly invited you to come visit his shop sometime. They're the bugs that need to be fixed. Fixed a bug where the stash under interface could extend off screen in some aspect ratios when using controller. Fixed a bug where you could fail to use skills near a temper spell on controller if the skill was bound to the same button as interact. Fixed a bug that caused you to be unable to apply skin transfers when using a controller. Oh, that someone literally raised that one in chat earlier today and was like, don't get the skin transfers because it's all bricked up. And it's fixed. So if you're still in the chat, they've fixed it. They've fixed it, my man. They've fixed it. Fixed a bug where some microtransactions that are unavailable to be purchased directly could show up in the microtransaction shops new item section. Fixed a client crash that could occur with the Steward of Kulamak's Abyssal Lich notable passive skill. Fixed 5 other client crashes. And finally, they fixed 4 instance crashes. W patch? Yeah, maybe. They haven't nerfed anything, and they've mostly sound like they've fixed some bugs and sorted out some stuff. These are the winning ones. They put those right at the top, right? These first 4. Sprint's not as crap anymore. Undying monsters won't destroy your last gasp of sanity. I mean, that's just normal, right? You shouldn't be able to unlimitedly try that boss. Well, it was nice to learn it doing that, I must say. And all the Abyss changes sound really good. Sounds like Abyss isn't going to be a pain in the ass for melee anymore, and that's just fantastic. I'll catch you guys in the next video.